okusasula ng'oweddemu amaanyi. Bakola ne Clear Plus Extra, kasoda akawoomu okuzaama. Okumanya ebisingawo, basange ekyengera buddo oba bakubire ku ssimu 0755 437 084 oba ku 0786 233 505. Sawa Uganda, invest in the community.
Ajat Shakira kuva Mutamamu Herbal Research and Skin Care. Tuli bakugu mu nsusu. Omuntu alina mugaba nga wali agadde okumuggyako. Oba yajja lwa bizigo oba yajja lwa bunene. Kyonna kye kiri ng'egyajjamu weekend bweti ojja kuba tokyalina mugaba. Nguli akweruka ebirungi ebyabalungi. Janku Tamamu Herbal Research and Skin Care. Tusangibwa mu Kisenyi ku social center kuba ku namba z'essimu ezita ku screen yawo ne delivery tugikola. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Enguuto ziri wano bannange ssente tugenda kuzijja ku luguuto luno tuziteeke ku
Rebel Yoweri Museveni going to Luwero to fight. Me, I'm talking what I know. Honorable Minister, maybe you're part of it and the people who took over our land.
You're talking to me, don't start attacking.
You see, when I'm talking, I don't want anyone to be stuck. This is a very contentious issue.
I think, Madam Speaker, we need a very serious scrutiny. Parliament needs to go and investigate this matter deeply. It is not just a matter of just ministers responding on a mere crisis which has just happened. When there are these deep-rooted problems that can be scientifically rectified.
For the good management of the public affairs.
Arebangwa kuzire kara yango kusoma baze kumugambirira nguma yango kusoma. Hati nyebye byo kuza kwecanga nibyo bintamire kunda ecyange nargo mwishomero munargam kandi obwebe bizibu ne byabo.
Or Gomanatika. In Poncho. In Viratam.
Sawa Uganda ekukutira gwawuliriza nti asiika obulamu omukono tassa y'ensonga lwaki bakuleetedde ekyokunywa ekinazza obujja omubiri gwo kye bayise Rosemary Tea Mix. Kino kirongoosa omubiri, kigumya amagumba, kijjanjaba endwadde, kikkakkanya ne puleesa. Sawa Uganda bakukolera ne Sawa Energy Drink, ekyokunywa ekikuddaabulula ng'oweddemu amaanyi. Bakola ne Clear Plus Extra, kasoda akawoomu okuzaama. Okumanya ebisingawo, basange ekyengera buddo oba bakubire ku ssimu 0755 437 084 oba ku 0786 233 505. Sawa Uganda, invest in the community.
Ajat Shakira kuva mutamamu Herbal Research and Skin Care. Tuli bakugu mu nsusu. Omuntu alina mugaba nga wali agadde okumuggyako. Oba yajja lwa bizigo, oba yajja lwa bunene. Kyonna kye kiri ng'egyajjamu. Weekend bweti ojja kuba tokyalina mugaba. Nguli akweruka ebirungi, ebyabalungi. Janku tamamu Herbal Research and Skin Care. Tusangibwa mu Kisenyi ku social center. Kuba ku namba z'essimu ezita ku screen yawo ne delivery tugikola. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Enguuto eziri wano bannange esente tugenda kuzijja ku luguudo.
Very fine. Today is Tuesday. Oh, it's a very beautiful Tuesday evening. Actually, we have experienced some rains in Kigegwa and other parts of the country. My name is John. And we are here on the presidential address. You know, we have been there was that communication from the office of the president that the president will be addressing the nation today at 8 p.m. and I think we are even in time to receive the presidential address on Ebola pandemic. And when it comes to us as CTV, we have always been informing you that we foster information, education, and even entertainment. So tonight we are here for education and also information on this disease. And it has really impacted and impacted negatively even in the economy and even in how people they are supposed to run different kind of businesses. Tonight here, I first welcome you from all the hustles that you are doing. People who are watching from Porto, from Kampala, from Kasese, from Chenjojo, from where? From all corners, From all corners of where you're watching us from. You're watching CTV Uganda, and in studio you have my brother. He's a journalist from one of he's part of us at CTV. So, Mr. Joseph, you say hi to our viewers who are watching, then we go on with the presidential address.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Naite. Amabara gange ni Joseph Tumusime kandi nsemerirwe muno kuranti nimba hakisani cha CTV Uganda akairiza kekiro keno kandi enge tutekaniriza urubazo rw'ikitenesa muno president akwatagere nekirwaire cha Ebola nitukusima iwa kuturura muhanga Uganda no anseri ya mayanja obale kusango cha twaire amatugawe na maiso achikwatagaine eno rubazo rwa president. Mr. Naitwe nitumanyira kimonti ikibere kino cyatahire mu ihanga Uganda abantu nyamwingi bakagenda babaze bigambo bingi cyayisaniriza ngikwaire cya COVID-19
abandi bakaketa okaro omusajja akaketa Ebola 19 okamuro
so ikibere kikalete bizo bingi ono mengero sangire okyorekere nti ekonomi kagwa hata yabere natunga omutwaro umutwaro nigumuyamba nigujuza akiri kakavera kakwiragura atubo kuno umutwaro isaniriza nkaine siringi 10 abantu barwaire ekiwe kintu kisoroire mu badaktari nabo barwaye bafira abandi bacyali mu intensive care siturukumanya ikurataho nikya
kitu affecting le mona amazima gende kuba no ranting ndora abana bambende baba stranded tubenenge basa kuta chegegwa tubenenge basa kuta 40 tubenenge basa kuta maite ita business actually chegegwa business ezukusinga ezukusinga na mubende baniya so we are neighbors so bokora tungire mubende has been locked down for over
almost 21 days
over 21 days over 21 days because ijeri bakabali mbenda kuba yam still wenga bakoraki babongera mu lockdown from
but Mr. Naite but sometimes kanimbaza hona bana abibi bomezi bakani bagamba singa batunga case omo a given district no gwe kwa biribiro abira na kim billion bihwaye kasta batunga case
one
ntugaruke mu bire binda abira na kimo ibya lockdown now
to can expect a lockdown
nitora I think this is a guno mundu gwa kan president na abaza kibere cha Ebola it be the third presidential address nora the second presidential address ikalita district ya Kasanda na Mubindi bajya mu lockdown yebira abira na kemo bali mu lockdown ikiwere cyaruga abarwira bali mu Kasanda bayigendera Kampala ku cyakara uba cyakaire abantu ba Kampala kujya kura na Kampala ine case umurwayi rugira yafira ayarugire mu district ya Kasanda no wenyene ayagenzere mu district ya Kampala wahuraga okitensa muno president nagamba twagira Yezu ekaba twagira Yezu
bagedaga bali bandira ngo baroge beza hari abantu batakayikirize nti Ebola iriyo bitu Ebola iriyo ero kandi analeso kwetakayikira umuntu wawe obo takakwasi no sakwanga ngutekozereke nguteye bitu kanti buteri Ebola yonka urebona buli so umuntu kasingaga aroburwaire kintu useme muntu kitwara kintu yobunaniziwe yes because you see when we are affected with the other pandemic of lockdown, it affected us seriously. So all these, even this Mubende lockdown, Kasanda, it has been put to reduce the spread of the pandemic. But we don't know. Those who are watching us, you can share with us the conversation. Do you expect to add or to put more days, even to look more areas, even add on Mubenda and Kasanda? Because
to me, again, kutekerezo kwange kuli tubere nturora districts benzutunga most of the cases no sanga bene case nkaina itanukaga bajya mu lockdown for 21 days hati no rajinja baba nibule kante abantu abandi ban bakwasirwe ekiwere cha Ebola. What do you expect? To me, I expect jinja negenda mu lockdown yebira abiri na kimu jinja ekisaniriza nka Mubende na Kasanda kandi jinja kujya mu lockdown kisa kuletereza economy hati tugambe gwi esobora kugwira kimu
sagwira kimu butikone mene sa insana ekagira mu kuchamba ituka in times of that time of lockdown it seems I don't know how you see the situation out there
actually,
but me I know personally I can believe that the economy was really affected. Even by the permanent secretary nagamba we have to believe, we have to accept tukaterwaki ebihuta bingi ebigwerezi bingi. So those are the causes of
obwire obwenyuma haho bagambaga urutaro rwa Russia na Ukraine naro kaleta economy ya Uganda affected
and that how to be na urutaro rwa Russia na Ukraine tukumanye baro witu. I see my brother here is watching from Musa Mugisa. Musa Mugisa is watching from Lusaka, Zambia. Is watching from Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you, brother, for watching. Musa nagamba anti kirokino mbatusiba.
Uganda yona kujya mu lockdown.
Kirokino mbatusiba.
I partly agree with him.
Chegego will be locked today. But how? Because Chegego to indications is nyakule alarming. Yes katungaka case kali
omuntu yafa.
Omuntu akafa, but I think bona bakusinga bari
bakakira of recent no mwana yala kwasirwe obwoiro obu muri kasule na wakarekavaringa kandi ebire bahire abayali nababira na kimu bekahwayo. But me I don't expect Chegegwa nka district kugenda lockdown, but okutino kwange kula district ya Jinja niyo ndokumanya nti ne sobora kujya mu lockdown ekisaniriza nkazi no district ezindi ibiri. You remember President Museveni wakabana abaza the other last presidential address akole kanti ebyamuleterize ngo district zinyakwitoroline hari yeze zari zokwasirwe ekibere kino.
Yes,
lekaniza abanze ataseho tatunga hatukutasa no lekire kirumazire kwandi kirumba Jinja wene abantu bagamba
Jinja
ndi kibere kino singa kijya mu district Kampala.
Yes,
chikajya Jinja chikajya Arua chikajya Mbarara.
So we have spread all over the country.
Manyengu ihanga lyo nalikozire imazire kuva. Wow.
But those who are watching us, you can share you can share your ideas with us. You can drop in your comments. We'll be reading through your comments and your ideas on today's presidential address.
Yes.
We see here Nayeva Pretty. This is my Facebook friend. Says he's watching from Uganda and loves Chaka. He's from Chaka, by the way, and she has that experience in. She has been serving in those refugee-related issues, conflicts. And you can share with us some of your suggestions. Your insights. What could be what do you expect from the presidential address?
Yes, they can also join us on Facebook.
Even we are streaming
Facebook.
We are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube channel. That is CTV Uganda.
Tujya kwansoma ubutumwa bwawe buramumaze intekereza yawe rundi kitekerezo cyawe tujya kwantukitunga then tukimanyisa na tali hamukuto bajya kuba ani bakisanga baitu tukusima bakusanga cyali naite kandi kugoza CTV Uganda kuranti ikintu cyotara kumanya betu CTV tekere ibitangazo kurani kijyane cyo kwikaho kandi kikujya kuba nikuyambuka ngobora kaiwe na Uganda na heru yihanga ya Uganda nikiza ndamucheyo haro abakura abanyakole inseri ya mayanja kakata Switzerland ali abali Sweden, Abu Dhabi, Oman kandi ba turora kurungi ano kubashya ubuhereza bwo no kumanya ikiro mihanga Uganda.
We have people who are watching us from Kenya, from Dubai, from UAE, from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia, those parts of Asia, those parts. People are watching us seriously. They love us too much. They love CTV. They love CTV.
Here I see Nindorante abanda kwinganenga nankaga na mwenda bakizire kiwereke.
Bakizire
abankaga na mwenda. Kandi makumi atana bana otekemu na ba doctor bafiri. Hata ntukururante kiwereke kiri Rio akanda bembagamba nta ibya ihanga Uganda mitakulia sente zabo bagamba ngo bachweze njura na gauta ireo ngo biri inseri alinda kakweyo akachumito mukera hati we
akachumito mukera
habuzo tukubaha bana Uganda na abanyakola hewe ihanga Uganda ikwere kintu kiso kutukwata kandi tukamarira werekeri katubo kwanura nkaga na mwenda bakize atana bana na basubire kuba nibafa what do you expect next forcing it to president on kujya akabaza to me uranti jirwa district eno nyine ya Jinja korangu yatunga case nicyo kirugire president asubire kujya nabaza tukubaza kwe nyuti nyine mukutina kuona engeri yaragambire ezo za boda bahimba vigilant abantu abakujya kwa bahimbire aba doctor nabo ba vigilant batekise mu nkora bya ministry y'ibibomezi yatekereho kujwara gloves kunaba mu ngaro no reportinga cases za abantu abanyakora imbyaro makosa ba VHTs to me inherent umsejo no baraba na bazi bigambo bye ibyabaza buri kiyo asoko ngera akaterera bitu hange Uganda so butagenda mu lockdown itwena partly Jinja.
But I think accurate spreading ile muno we can point you again am lockdown akoba to really to be affected na economy ile ya COVID-19 had no wakasinga take of this lockdown then yanga the kurangu msagire kitweko liri sagire tusapura cyokora akuba just to akwanura even a concert ye dikenza nyakuba iro that festival magamba it is now the biggest festival by Euro after feeling free kumara anyuma yo kumara kutayisura lockdown biki n'abantu bagarukire mbare yo mbare kavaringa na economy so nunkanye nkakagaba te kunyirangu there will be that lockdown. Abantu enyuma wakitinisa president hage yakora yakage yarabira amanda Twitter handle and the president was very clear, said no, I will not put lockdown, but people please be vigilant. Be vigilant, whatever you're doing, how you're doing it, please know that the disease is there and it kills. Stop eating everything.
By the way,
there's that touching yourself where in those soft parts. follow Minister Veles procedure.
Abiyobomezi nibagamba ntibo kugendo kalisalisi bwenyama eyotakengere icyo kisakuletera ekibere kintu cyakukwata usanga inyama bagire iwe nutwara harimo barinya membisi bwana naite bari nyamembisi unaliraho kali
how is that happening
no sange Ebola ya Mariana iretererwa kandi yakwata abantu but mu rubazo rwa president rwa today me my prayers kutekerezo kwange anu batatekereho no batatekereho lockdown nitoranta abana ministry ya ibinyegesa engeri yikava obayikalire mu cabinet bakekiraniza na ministry y'ibibomezi nti abana bano ababaire basigira amasomero bakendeze orusomo rwatamu ya
kasatu even orora bakagaba garuke ba breaking
abena bitano with the aim yo quarantine ba abana bano babagaramuka nabo babe vigilant kandi basaba abazaire balinda abana to me ninchaye kaguza kukendeza kusomo kwa abana bano kwerikira yamba ukendeza ukubata kwekwe kine cha Ebola kweri
nkusobora abukuba abana abo omwana umanyira abana balinka ongerwe bukufure kigambo mwana nambo sako mugakora kimwe akacyanga baitu bagenda muka tisini baba safe to my thinking they can be safer than when they are at school, when they are people they are visiting them so they actually they are placed to attract this disease, but when they are sent home, they can at least feel free. There is even here people they are watching and they are keeping in to drop their comments. We see Isaiah Tomhaise, director, Blue Power Electronics Repairs, Chegebo, is watching us. Thank you very much, Mr. Isaiah, for watching CTV. We love you and we love people of Chegebo. We love this Chegebo motherland. Without actually we based from here to spread all over Uganda, all over Africa. I think the president already started to address the nations. Let's go straight to Corona.
Yes.
were confirmed on a daily basis.
Let's go straight to where?
However, in the first 21 days of restrictions, I've been told that the number of cases reduced to an average of 3 cases per day. This was because of intensifying control interventions, which included door-to-door sensitization of the communities by the village health teams, training of the health workers on infection prevention and control in both public and private health facilities, safe, dignified burials of all the deceased in the communities by the health teams. This is very important. The people who die from corona should be buried by the health teams, not by relatives. And hospitals and other treatment of cases of the Ebola treatment units. Because you see, when you cooperate and you alert the health system early, your chances of surviving are much higher. N'olwekyo abagezaako okwekweka Ebola teyekwekeka. Ebola eringa kamwaka, wala akanani bakita kamwaka, enyamutsimbi. Kamwaka bw'okakwatako owunya na buli ky'okwata kiwunya. There's no way you can hide, you do what? Go to see banabalimba abagamba nti basawo b'ekinansi n'abanadiini nabo kati nabo bafuuse ng'abasawo b'ekinansi okulimba nti bakola ebyamagero ne bawonya Ebola. All of those are very serious mistakes. But reporting early, because 73 people have recovered. Yes. Bwino ali wano. Ntwadde tufiirwa abantu 5 naye 7 bawonye. So you can imagine if you report early, the chances of survival are much higher. Our efforts are beginning to pay off as we have seen a decline in the number of cases in Mbende. For example, for 18 days, we do not get a case until, this is in Mbende now, until yesterday when we got 1 case. enguuto eziri wano bannange esente tugenda kuzijja ku luguuto luno tuziteeke ku
Rebel Yoweri Museveni going to Luwero to fight. Me, I'm talking what I know. Honorable Minister, maybe you're part of even the people who took over our land.
You're talking to me, don't start attacking.
You see, when I'm talking, I don't want anyone to disturb. This is a very contentious issue.
I think, Madam Speaker, we need a very serious scrutiny. Parliament needs to go and investigate this matter deeply. It is not just a matter of just ministers responding on a mere crisis which has just happened, when there are these deep-rooted problems that can be scientifically rectified.
For the good management of the public affairs.
Restricted area. But now you hear that instead of carrying cargo, they have been carrying human beings. This poses a risk of transfer of infection to other districts. With the help of borders, people are escaping through Chaka 2 refugee camp and end up in facilities in Kampala City and other districts. Recently, a pregnant woman traveled through Chaka 2 and ended up in Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital, where she was delivered by cesarean section and is still under quarantine. Furthermore, another woman was transported through the same mechanism up to Chireka on the outskirts of Kampala City with the pretext of going to pick her HIV medicines, which are widely available everywhere. This is not acceptable because Ebola infection will be exported out of the district. Any urgent health issues must be communicated to the health authorities to handle within the district. Bw'oba olina ekikuluma eky'obulwadde, enduulu gikubire ab'omu district yo abakola ku by'obulamu. Health Center 3 ey'okumpi bw'oba otegeeza bakulagirira ekyokukola. Now, Kasanda district, while progress has been made in Mbende district, this is not true for Kasanda district. During the first 21 days of restriction of movement, there was an explosion of over 41 cases within 5 days and 10 deaths arising out of exhuming a dead Ebola body. Then there were also congregations in Bibanda and playing pool in Chikandwa parish. Now you hear, my fellow Ugandans, somebody died from Ebola and was buried by the government health teams safely. Now, these relatives of his who claim to be religious, I think that these were Muslims or what? They said, he has not been buried by doing the rituals. Tebakoze obulombolombo baki obw'ekisiraamu kati katumuggyeyo tukole obulombolombo. So they exhumed the body, imagine. Now, out of those, how many have died? 10.
10, Excellence.
Abo family eyo abajja omulambo mu ntaana mbagala kukola ebyobulombolombo. Abantu 10 bafudde. Ye namba eno nene gye mulaba wano. kwataano mu bataano abafudde 10 bava ku mulambo. Obunyankole bakiyita okuziikurra guba aziikulire oba mu Luganda bakyogera batya
Your Excellency era kuziikula.
Oh, the same like Lunyankole. Now you hear that. Abo abekweka mu byeddiini okukola ensobi z'ekika eki, Katonda yatonda science. Bw'olaba enjuba ani yagitonda? Si Museveni yatonda enjuba. Science. Buno obuwuka bwa butonde. Katonda yabukiriza okubeerawo ndowooza. Because if God didn't want, the buwuka would not be there. The viruses, the bacteria are part of nature, and nature is God's creation. We are not the ones who created it. So okusoma bw'owulira nti ensi eziyingidde mu kitangaala, enlightenment, zeezo ensi ezayiga okumanya obutonde bulungi. So really education and science means understanding nature. Simanyi mu Quran nkozesa omukutu guno ogwa TV njagala ba imamu bafuna obudde bakolagana ne Dr. wali omunsi banyonyole ekigambo oba waliwo okulagirira okuli mu Quran okukwata ku kintu kino ekyokusiiga obulwadde, kubanga mu Bayibuli nkimanyi bulungi. Abagenge bali bayitawo ne basemberera kumpi Yesu we yali. Kigamba mu Bayibuli nti bayimirira wala. In the Bible, bayimirira wala ne bawogaana nti Mukama waffe tutaase. The story of the lepers is there in the Bible. 2,000 years ago, those people knew how to control infection. That these lepers stood far and shouted because they knew that separation. What we are telling you, what we are doing now actually. I think that's how we had summarized it. This Tonsemberera 2,000 years ago, in the time of Jesus. So we are now here, 2,000 years from the time of Jesus, which is written in the Bible, repeating the mistakes, doing what the people were not doing 2,000 years ago. I think I read somewhere in the Bible that they would even put bears on these lepers or something like that. Yeah. That they would put bears. But every day. That when you hear them coming, you go. Yeah. So now here in Kasanda district, Kasanda district, I'll never do. okulonda engeri gye balonda abantu abatalina makulu be bali eyo be balonda mu kalulu akayita ate abakulembeze abantu badde bayamba tekuli n'omu balonda ndowooza abalabe abagala abantu baffe tebafaayo in Mbende the local leaders played a positive role. The chairman, So here in Kasanda, in one family, 11 people dead. Omlambo plus 10. The 10 were killed by the dead body, which was exhumed Mbubakolo Bulombolombo. However, the cases have now reduced during the second 21 days restriction to 1 to 2 cases per day. Progress in Kasanda has been slow because of lack of cooperation among some of the district's political leaders. Poor adherence to the standard operating procedures, myth and misconceptions, and visiting traditional healers. Abasawo b'ekinansi tebalina tebagenda kuwonya. Ate n'abo abagamba nti bagenda kusabira temuli kusaba okunawonya Ebola. The answer is to use the medicine which God created for us, because whatever problem there is God put an antidote to it. Omuliro guzikizibwa amazzi. Mwebyo ebibiri Museveni teyatondangawo kimu. Omuliro gwa Katonda, amazzi ga Katonda. So ogwange kwe kulaba okukozesa Katonda byateekawo okumalawo ebizibu ebijjawo. This is the role of the human beings. We just use what God created to solve problems. So, this Ebola, as I told you from the beginning, is actually much easier to deal with than either corona or AIDS. The main problem here is behavior change. You remember the other time we were talking about behavior change for AIDS. Here, actually, the main solution is behavior change. People to listen. That's all. Because it doesn't spread through the air like AIDS, like corona, and does not infect. It's not like AIDS, which can hide for some months before it shows itself. Apparently this one, when you start getting symptoms, that's when it starts infecting. So it's very easy really if people had just stayed, it would have been over. In 3 weeks, it would have been over. But obutawuliriza. Kasanda district has got 4 major challenges. These are the passenger relay system by border borders, similar to what is happening in Mbende. Ba border border okujema nibetika abantu omukifo kyokwetika emigugu gyokka. Frequent visits traditional healers. Ogenda mu masabo. Myth, misconceptions and misinformation. Obutamanya n'obulimba. Escape of Ebola contacts using the trucks carrying timber logs, which also expose the driver and turnboy to infection. Additionally, these trucks spend nearly 1 week in Kasanda loading the logs. This is adequate time for the driver and turnboy to have contact with the communities and get infected. For example, a driver of a timber truck left Kasanda with the infection and was found in Usega, in Kampala City. To address these risks in Mbende and Kasanda, I now direct as follows. Tulina kyakukola munange. Abanyankole bagamba nti enjoki yakuula omuliro. Bw'oba oyagala okujja omubisi gw'enjuki mu njuki olina okukozesa omuliro. Okubuulira obubuulirizi kikigenda okukkiriza enjuki okukolekera omubisi gw'enjuki. So it seems talking alone is not enough to convince some of the actors. Number one, Minister of Health and local government leaders should intensify sensitization of the borders so that they understand the dangers of exporting Ebola through the refugee camp. I once again repeat that all traditional healers and witch doctors are prohibited from carrying out their activities during this Ebola outbreak. They should not receive clients. All the border must stop the practice of passenger relay system immediately. Should they continue, I will stop their movement with or without cargo. Ba border bwe tebalekedde awo okwetika abantu ngenda okubaggalirawo ddala. Temuddamu kutambula oba mwetise mugugo oba nedda. Ngenda kukola ekyo bwe muba temulekedde awo. Number 4, all trucks carrying logs are prohibited from movement into and out of Mbende and Kasanda districts with immediate effect until the end of the 21 days. This issue of the logs is because people have developed commercial forests in that area, which is a good thing. I normally see them when I'm flying to Hoima, to Masindi. I normally see them. But now you can see an advantage. Some people are turning into disadvantage. Because if the operators of these log trucks were sensitizing their drivers not to mix, to simply camp, like we were doing when we had Corona for the Kenyan drivers and all that. We took some precautions, and it worked. But these ones don't listen. So for now, fortunately, it's not many days, 21 days. Don't move into or out of Museveni and Kasanda districts for carrying logs. The Greater Kampala metropolitan area, confirmed cases have been reported in the districts of Wakiso and Kampala City as a result of imported cases from the Kasanda and Mbende areas. Currently, the number of cases in Greater Kampala are as follows. Kawempe, 3. Makindye, 1. Rubaga, 14. And Wakiso, 2. The Greater Kampala region is a heavily populated area that presents challenges in contact tracing, follow-up, and home quarantine. And because of this, identified contacts must be put under government quarantine, institutional quarantine. However, I have been informed that some contacts escaped and found their way to Masaka and Jinja cities. Both of them have since died of Ebola. Katuujao. Bano bakimanya nti bali basemberedde omulwadde wa Ebola. Gavumenti ku ssente zaayo ono asemberedde omulwadde wa Ebola emutwala nemuteeka mu kifo nemulabirira ennaku 21 ku ssente zaayo. This is for Kampala because eri walala bano tubakuumira mu maka gaabwe tusigala waka, naye Kampala wano kulwa abantu abangi tubatwala mu bifo bya gavumenti. Kati abantu ababiri batoloka, kati abo bafudde kubanga okutoloka eri gy'oddukira tekuli ekinakutaasa. Abemwawule mbwakusabire, abe bishopu mbwakusabire, abe mulogo mbwalogo obulwadde tekigenda kukutaasa. Where there is a chance that you may survive is to stay here in the government quarantine area, and when you start showing signs of being sick, they start treating you quickly. Because this Ebola attacks internal organs. Attacks internal organs. That's why people bleed. So the earlier you start, before the internal organs are damaged, the better. That is the whole idea about early treatment. So, Katubano Abatoroka, this one who escaped from Kampala, they have both died. A pregnant woman linked to the initial Kasanda case that brought infection to Kampala was called by her mother to seek health care in Masaka. The mother then took her to Masaka Regional Referral Hospital where the health workers suspected Ebola and isolated her. She tested positive and unfortunately passed on before delivery. So this one, maybe if she had reported here in Kampala early, the chances of survival. 97 contacts linked to this pregnant woman have been listed under follow-up. Furthermore, I'm informed that another contact linked to the Rubaga cluster traveled to Jinja City, where he visited 2 private clinics before he succumbed. Succumbed meaning he died. Huh? You know, I'm reading Dr. Jena Cheng's way of writing. So, ndimutafta. Kubanga bogera olulimi lwabwe olwaffe bamanenki lwesitutegera. Succumbed means died. So bwe munawulira ngamba succumbed mutegeere bannange nti olulimi olwaffe kufa. Because succumbed it is as if he lay down and surrendered or what? So this person died. The brother subsequently died. So this one died and killed his brother. Ah, Banange. Huh? Huh? Imagine, all these are necessary. Huh? The brother subsequently died and was confirmed for Ebola after death through samples removed by the health workers from a private clinic, St. Catherine Medical Center. We have since then confirmed Ebola in another relative, bringing the total number to 3 in this family. Oh, this one also died. Huh?
She's still alive in isolation.
Oh, this one is still alive in isolation. Now, 245 contacts. When you hear contacts, bananga timulowooza nti mikwano baki, because this is the language of Jane. Contacts means the ones who got near the sick person and are suspected could have been infected. So you can hear these are 245 have been listed in Jinja City. 5 of these developed symptoms and have been evacuated to Entebbe National Isolation Facility. The above scenario shows that the population and health workers in Kampala and the entire country have not yet properly understood the dangers of Ebola and how it spreads. Ebola is easy to manage if all people cooperate and follow guidance of the health workers. Ebola is spread by contaminated clothing, beddings, surfaces nga wano ku meza, and body fluids such as saliva, vomit, sweat, stool meaning feces, blood, and sexual fluids. of sick people. The main entry points are the mouth, eyes, and broken skin, especially of the hands. This is why it is important to always wash hands with soap and water, or use alcohol-based sanitizer and chlorine solution to wash. Therefore, if you have contact or been in an area where there, part of the contact, we told you, stop shaking hands. Stop shaking hands. When Corona was starting, His Grace the Archbishop of Canterbury came here. And some people said I should greet him, that I will get blessings when I shake the hand of the Archbishop. I said, no, the Archbishop can send to me the blessing through the air. It's possible to send to me the blessing through the air, because God has got all the power. I refused to shake the hands of the Archbishop. I refused. Of Canterbury. This is what Banyankore call obhabe, when people get lost. Obhabe, to be live and done what you ought to do, and do what you ought not to do, and there is no truth in you. Balekanga bye basande kukola, ne bakola bye batasande kukola, n'amazima tegali mu bo. Bayibuli bwetyo bwegamba. Shaking hands doesn't show that you love people. No. It's not necessary. Just like a jambo. Like a jambo. Kamara. Hello. Olugo okubida akajambo alaba nti omusanyukidde. Akiraba tiyetaaga kukwata essanyu nti akwata essanyu mu ngalo. So stop shaking hands, so that the washing we are talking of is washing because you touch surfaces and so on. Because also the surfaces, the virus can stay there. But forget about shaking hands. Therefore, if you have had contact or been in an area where there are cases of Ebola, and you are not sure whether you are a contact or not, do not run away. Stay in your home and call the health workers if you are sick. When you run away, you lose time, get more sick, and die. In addition, you spread the disease to your loved ones and other local governments, like we have seen with the case in Jinja City. This stretches the health system and is expensive to control. I've been informed that tourists have been cancelling their trips to Uganda, and some have even postponed their bookings in hotels and lodges due to the Ebola outbreak. Furthermore, international conferences and meetings have been postponed, and some have moved to other countries due to Ebola outbreak. This is most unfortunate and not necessary, because as you have seen, Ebola, if you follow the guidelines, it will not get you. I would like to reassure the international community, tourists, and conference organizers and the entire Ugandan population that the government has put in place measures to control the outbreak. And unfortunately, the disease itself is avoidable because it only spreads by intimate contact. The Ebola outbreak is localized to only 6 out of 146 districts of Uganda. Uganda remains safe and we welcome international guests. Government is doing all it takes to control this epidemic and avoid exportation outside Uganda. In this regard, the list of Ebola contacts bali abasemberedde aba Ebola has been availed to the immigration authorities to prevent them from international travel. Boba osemberedde owa Ebola, please togezako ate okufuluma ebweru okutwala obulwadde mu nsi endala. And of course, we have given your names to, if you don't cooperate, we shall give the names to other countries so that even if you pass through Panya and you go to other countries, they will lock you at the airport and you may get problems there. In addition, there is screening at the airport and land border points of entry for temperature, symptoms, and history of contact. I appeal to you to observe the above measures. I really beg you, edinkole abarokole bayamba kinene okugunjura mwekiri mu Luganda, okugunjura mwekiri okugunjura abanyankole beeyo ffe kubanga waliwo obutamanya ekyokulabirako. Abanyankole banywanga amata agatali mafumbi, banywanga amazzi agatali mafumbi, so nga amata ago galinamu obulwadde TB, biki, brucellosis, ebiwuka by'omu lubuto, amazzi agatali mafumbi galinamu kati abalokole emyaka gya 1956 bakola kaweefube owokutusomesa nti ebi bya bukafiri, and it helped us. So you can now see obukafiri, you can now see bukafiri killing people here. This is obukafiri. They are telling you that okusigangana. Because like in the 1950s, when the Barokore were telling us not to, the Banyankore were fond of sharing clothes. That if you are friends, I can lend you my shirt. This Barokore said, no, this is Okafiri. No sharing. Communal plates, eating from the same plate. Pendi, the Barokore, buli omu alire ku siyaani ye. everybody eats from your own plate. That's how TB and the diseases were eradicated from Mankori. So we are now dealing with the Bukafiri in such a very serious matter. Bukafiri means not really getting the of informed people. I thank you and I wish you good luck. Enguuto ziri wano bannange esente tugenda kuzijja ku luguuto luno tuziteeke ku
Rebel Yoweri Museveni going to Luwero to fight. Me, I'm talking what I know. Honorable Minister, maybe you're part of it and the people who took over our land.
You're talking to me, don't start attacking.
You see, when I'm talking, I don't want anyone to disturb. It is a very contentious issue.
I think, Madam Speaker, we need a very serious scrutiny. Parliament needs to go and investigate the matter deeply. It is not just a matter of just ministers responding on a mere crisis which has just happened. When there are these deep-rooted problems that can be scientifically rectified.
For the good management of the public affairs.
Areba kuzire kara yango kusoma baze kumugambirira nguma yango kusoma hatinya ebye kuza kwecanga nibyo bintamire kunda ecyange nargo mwishomero munargam kandi obwebe bizibu nebyabo
Unawane anyway or kumwana tike ini kwancha inwe ratam